a lot of a linear optimization problem. Let's look into also non-linear functions and see how we can solve non-linear optimization problems using a graphical approach. If you look into the problem formulations which were given to you previously, for example, something like this, you will see all the functions that we have are linear functions. This is a linear combination of x1 and x2. We did not have x1 square or exponential to the power e to the power x, right, or so on, or sine x, which are the non-linear component. We did not have this term, so that's why the problem that we have been focusing, and if you recall the nature of the plots, they were straight line, right? So we were basically discussing all the linear variations of the problems. What happens if we talk about try to use the same approach and try to solve non-linear optimization problems using graphical approach? And that's what I want to focus. So let's take an example problem where we have an objective function, right, which we want to probably, let's say, minimize, right, and we have a constraint function which is also nonlinear. So this is constraint function which is denoted by g1, and this is an objective function that we want. So how do we go about solving this problem? So again, the steps are very, very similar to what we have done in the previous case. Only thing that will change now qualitatively and also graphically is the contours of the objective function and also the nature or the look of the inequality constraint. Because the inequality constraint and the functions, objective functions are nonlinear, they will be looking in nonlinear form. And what I mean by that is typically if you have a linear problem, like let's say if you have a linear constraint, then if the plot, the boundary will be a line, right? One side will be feasible or infeasible. That's what is going to be there. And this is essentially for linear constraint, right? So that's what you will see when the linear constraints are there. But when there are non-linear constraint, it might not look like a line. It might be some contour, a non-linear function plot, right? And so in this case, you might have constraints in this region where this region is infeasible, okay? And this is an example plot or contour for non-linear constraint. And it might look not a straight line, but it might look this curvilinear curve type of plot is going to replace the straight line plot, and that is going to be a major change when you are graphing out the nonlinear functions itself, right? So that's what we are going to use this idea, and that's what we will see how this pans out. And but the steps are going to be essentially the same as a linear graphical problem that we have seen before. So let's go ahead and let's see how we can solve this class of problem. Now, one of the things that you can also do for this class of problems is you can take a help of coding tools like Python or MATLAB, and you can basically plot out the nonlinear, and you can use that class of tools to plot for this class of function that might also help you in solving this class of problem. Okay, so again, what we can do is probably I can take a graphical optimization with Python, which is a simple technique to plot the constraint. I can actually also plot the contours for different values of the constraint too. But remember, when we are plotting the constraint with like g1, we are primarily interested in the boundary where g1 is equal to 0. We are not interested in multiple values of constraint, okay? But what we are going to do here is we are going to plot the g1 contour for different values and remove all the other values, all the other contours which is where g1 is not equal to 0, and only keep the contour where g1 is going to be equal to 0. So here is the code, and you can run this code and look into this code how this looks like, which will give you a plot like this. Okay, so first thing that I want to comment is in this slide, right, we have a contour plot for g1, okay? But caveat is for g1 or inequality constraint, we do not need multiple different contours. We are essentially interested in where is the boundary. So we are essentially interested in the case where g1 is equal to 0, and we only want to plot, right? So there are multiple different plot, and it turns out if you look into this contour, this is where g1 is equal to 0, whereas all the other contours, the g1 value is going to be more or not equal to 0, okay? So we don't need all of this contour plot, we just need this one, and that's what we are going to retain because that defines the boundary of this g1 inequality, G1 inequality nonlinear constraint. And then we will find out which one is the feasible and infeasible region by substituting points here. And let's move on to that step so we can check out which regions are going to be feasible and infeasible once we have identified the boundary. And then that will help me in plotting essentially the constraint that we have. Okay, so if that's the step one of the approach, and again, if we don't want to have a counter plot, we need to have only just a single boundary. Okay, so if I go ahead and do that, then this will be the contour that I want to plot. Okay, here is only one contour where G1 is equal to 0. So this red line that you see here is the single thing that we want to plot for inequality constraint. If it was an objective function, then we should plot ahead more we should do more counters. But here we are interested in G1 equal to 0, and this red line defines the boundary. Now what do we do in step 2? In step 2, we find out which is a feasible region. And what we do, we pick 2 points on the either side of the boundary, which is like the yellow point and this purple point, and we find out which one is feasible. So if I substitute something like 0, 0, right, you will see that minus 0.2 minus 0 by 0, so that will be less than equal to 0. That tells me that this inequality is not satisfied. So this point is not satisfying the inequality. So this is essentially going to be the infeasible region. So anything on this side of this plot is going to lead to infeasible. Now let's check the feasibility. If I check this point, which is 1, 1, and if I substitute 1, 1 here, so in that case our overall G1 at 1, 1 is going to be equal to 0.2 minus 1 times 1. So this is equal to 0.2 minus 1, or this is going to be minus 0.8, which is less than 0. So it is satisfying this inequality. So that's why this region is going to be feasible, and this region is going to be infeasible. And so similar to the linear problem, we can also find feasible and infeasible region in a nonlinear constraint function too, and this is what we have done here. So let's go ahead and let's mark the region which is infeasible. So so we will go ahead and again hatch out the infeasible region. As I showed, the bottom portion of that graph is infeasible, and that's why we'll hatch out this region. So the only feasible region is this one. Okay, and if there were more constraint, then you can keep doing more constraint plotting forward. But in our case, we have only one. At the problem that we are discussing, we have only one constraint function. So this is the plot that we'll plot. Now what we will do is we will go ahead and we will basically plot the objective function, right? That's the step 4, and that's where we basically will do plotting of multiple contours. Okay, so here is a Python code that I've given, which could be used to plot the objective function, nonlinear objective function that we have been discussing. And if you do that, the contours will look like this. Okay, in one of the things that you can see by looking at this plot, this is a nonlinear plot, so that it will have different contours, and this is where the objective function values are going to be decreased. Basically the objective function values are going to be decreasing. So if you come from here, objective function value is high. If you're coming in this direction, the objective function values are decreasing. So in this direction, general direction, the objective function values are decreasing. Okay, and again, if you keep going in this direction, that's where somewhere it will be minimum. Okay, so this set of contours, we know that we need to plot multiple different ISO contours for the objective function. So again, with the code, this is the nature that you can see, but you can try that with yourself manually, but essentially code will give you an easier route. So the next step is to superimpose the objective function with the contour plot of the constraint function. So if we do that, and if you merge both of those plots together, you can see, this is how the plot is going to look like. So now let's discuss what this means. So things that it means is like anything that is below this is going to be infeasible. Okay, we knew that probably the minimum value of the function was somewhere right here, but that lies in the infeasible region. So this could not be an optimal solution, because although the value of a point here with respect to the objective function is low or minimal, but since that is in the infeasible region, that is not going to be optimal solution. Whereas if I pick a point here, let's say if I pick a point right here, okay, what is the pair? Okay, this is definitely feasible according to the constant because it's lying on the other side of the boundary. But can we find another point in the feasible region where the objective function value is going to be lower while it is in the feasible region? The answer is yes. I can pick a point here, and this point is feasible and has a lower objective function values. Why? Because the objective function value is decreasing in this direction. So if I keep going down, right, I can come here, and the point that is lying on this one is going to be having a lower objective function values than this, right? But if I come here, this will have a lower objective function value than this, but that is not going to be in feasible region. So this becomes infeasible, and that's why this cannot be a solution. So the solution lies somewhere in between this point and this, right? So if we expand this contours, right, or if we reduce this contours right here, keep expanding, and this is the point where we'll come and we'll see that is just intersecting with the objective function. The objective function contour is intersecting with the constraint function, and right here where we will have the optimal solution. Okay, so again, let me re-emphasize how I found it and how we go about this, finding this, so that you understand the concept. Okay, as I said, the objective function value is increasing. So I showed you we keep coming this direction and we find one which basically has this same contour, but it just touches this. Other way to think about it is we can go from infeasible region. Okay, I know that this contour has a lower function value, but this completely lies in the infeasible region. So I can go ahead and I can draw another contour function, right here, which still is in infeasible region. So I can keep moving in this direction, and as soon as I start touching this optimal point, so the contour right here, which is touching the boundary, which becomes feasible and has the least objective function value, is going to be the solution to this problem. So that's how we determine where the location of the optimal solution is going to be there. So as you can see, if we keep going there, right here is where we are going to be having the objective optimal solution. Right here is going to be the optimal solution of the overall problem. Okay, so that's what we are going to plot, and you can see that I have removed this and marked that with a purple dot, and that location of that purple dot is essentially the location of the optimum solution, and that's how we identify. So I've removed all the unnecessary constraint, but you can see that here, this approach that I was talking, I'm moving from feasible region, increasing the function values, because even though the function values are increasing, we are moving in the direction where the feasibility is ensured. So as soon as we touch the feasible region, and that function which is leading to the minimum value will be the optimal solution. So if I take, again, one way to understand, if I take this contour plot, right, here obviously a point is feasible, but the objective function values are higher than what we have for this value, and that's why, again, one way to solve for other problem is we can move in this direction, and we can come and find out this location of the optimal point that we are interested in. Okay, so we will this is how essentially you can solve for non-linear problems using a graphical approach, and hopefully the same steps, the same set of steps that is there. The only thing that you need to now start thinking about and looking into this overall problem is that you will have contours which are non-linear, which are not straight lines. That will be curvilinear, and that's what is going to change graphically when you are solving a non-linear optimization problems. Okay, so this is what we do. You determine, and step 2, with the hashed regions, you can combine different codes to also do some of this. Okay.